Continuing talking about the Murderers Row lineup of bass players that the Allman Brothers Band had. Bass player number 2, the great Lamar Williams there, joined the band in 1972. Late 1972, was in the Allman Brothers through 1976. When he went off and formed Sea Level, when they broke up, he went off and formed Sea Level with Jaimoe and with Chuck Leavell, pianist and, of course, drummer of the Allman Brothers Band. Jaimoe and Lamar were childhood friends, lifelong friends. They grew up together, Ocean Springs, Gulfport, Mississippi, played in bands together, and then Lamar ended up in the United States Army in Vietnam, which is one reason why he wasn't ever considered to join the original Allman Brothers Band in 1969. I think the other reason, of course, is that Duane Allman had Barry Oakley in mind. That was who he wanted as his bass player. Lamar got his shot in 1972 after Barry Oakley's death in Macon, and auditioned for the band in kind of a memorable situation. And I'm going to read you Jaimoe's story about that. He said Lamar was the third bassist to audition. We played about 2 or 3 songs. Somebody asked Lamar, "Have you ever played these songs before?" "No, I've never played them. I've heard them and I've had the bass in my hands, and I played along with the records, but that's about it." Then Butch got up. It was one of the smartest moves I've ever seen Butch make. He said, quote, "Can we take a break?" He told all of us, Greg, Dickie, Chuck Leavell, myself, "As far as I'm concerned, Lamar's got the fucking gig. It's over. I don't need to hear anyone else. We found our bass player." Everyone agreed, and that was the end of that. Lamar was in the band. That's just a killer story to me. These guys really did truly understand what they needed musically, or at least seemed to, and really made the right decisions most of the time when they added new players to the lineup. I think there were some issues in the early 1980s, which we won't talk about right now, but Lamar was certainly a wonderful choice for that. And really, you listen to most of Brothers and Sisters. He's not on Ramblin' Man or Wasted Words, but he's on the rest of the album. You listen to Wipe the Windows, Check the Oil, Dollar Gas, which I've shilled a lot, their live album from that era. You listen to the bootlegs from that era. And of course, while Win, Lose, or Draw gets properly slagged, it's not a great record, but it does have, I think, does have a brilliant instrumental. I mean, High Falls is one of the greatest songs in the Allman Brothers Band canon. And his bass, Lamar's bass, anchors that. And if you listen closely, hear him and Jaimoe playing off each other. Jaimoe told me, I'm not a name dropper, but I talked to him about this. I loved listening to how Jaimoe played his bass drum. And I really love it when I listen to his own stuff. And he told me, he said, I learned how to play my bass drum from Lamar. That would be like 64, 65, that sort of time period. Lamar Williams, this is a shot, Herb Kossover, I don't know how to pronounce his shot this. That's at the Macon Grand Opera House, a TV appearance that they made, one of the few. Lamar Williams, Lamar was in the band, like I said, till 76. At the height, the peak of their success, he anchored the band, played with them at Watkins Glen in front of 600,000 people. Sea Level with Chuck and Jaimoe was a very successful band into the early 1980s, was doing well. Well, it was a successful band. I'm not going to say very successful. Had a chance to rejoin the Allman Brothers Band in 78, 79, and turned it down to continue in Sea Level. And then Lamar died 5 years later, 1983, of lung cancer that was attributed to his time in Vietnam and Agent Orange. So kind of a tragic story there. A little bit forgotten, I think, because he is a monster bass player. Totally different than what Barry Oakley plays. And totally different than what David Goldflees and Alan Woody and Oteil Burbridge after him played. But it's still Allman Brothers, and it's still really good. And I think part of it is, I think a lot of it is, there's a brotherhood at the core of that, and that's between Jaimoe and Lamar. So a little love for Lamar Williams, the second bassist in that monster bass lineup that the Allman Brothers Band had. Long live the Allman Brothers Band.